how to actually change your life in 6 months for real this time. Now, have y'all ever sat around thinking about how you don't feel fulfilled in the things that you're doing, in the life that you're creating for yourself? You're not alone, and it's not abnormal. Many times in my own life, even though I was successful and doing many things, into the outside world, I looked like I was just doing amazingly. I can tell you I felt like I was on autopilot. I feel like I wasn't being my best self, achieving, networking, really creating new relationships that would be lasting. But I had to learn, and I had to set myself free from all of the bondage of trying to be everything that everybody else wanted me to be. And I can tell you, time will pass you by quickly. It's already spring right now. Think about it. We just coughed and it was January 1st. And that's why today's topic is absolutely perfect. How you can completely change your life in just 6 months. Not overnight, not with some magic pill, but with intentional steps that actually work. I'm living proof. Because 6 months might seem like a long time, but believe me, it passes us by as quickly as you can count. And before we dive in, drop a comment right now letting me know one thing you want to change in the next 6 months. Nothing is too big or too small. We ain't here to giggle at you. I'll be reading those comments, and some of them I'll hope to feature in some of my upcoming goal-related videos. And for those of you asking about my outfits and things I use at home, and even my lip color, baby, I've updated my LTK shop with everything you need to know here today. The links are in the description.
Drnina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
Now, let's get on into this discussion. Now, I know we headed towards the center of the year, but let's be for real for a second. How many times have you said to yourself, I'm going to do it all. This year is going to be different. And now we're heading to the middle of the year. Has this one been different for you? Some of us find ourselves in the same spot months later. I've been the queen of starting over on Mondays before. My sister would literally call me and say, so what are we starting again tomorrow? No lie. But here's what I've learned and what research actually confirms. Meaningful change isn't about motivation. It's about systems, support, and strategy. Think about it this way. If you want to build a house, you wouldn't just grab some wood and start hammering. You got to have a blueprint. You'd have the right tools. You'd even hire experts for the parts you don't know how to do yourself. Yet when it comes to changing our lives, we often think that willpower is all we need to have, and that's enough. Honey. You know what's interesting? That's exactly why I've been working with a career coach for these past few months. After going through significant life changes, I found myself at a crossroads. I had reached a certain level of mastery in my career, but I wasn't feeling that fire anymore. Click like if you know what I mean. I needed to re-spark my professional journey, to step outside of my comfort zone, and to start challenging myself again. But I wasn't sure of how to navigate this new chapter. That's where strawberry.me came into my life. And honestly, the timing absolutely couldn't have been better. And I'm so happy that they're sponsoring today's video. Strawberry.me connected me with Christina. She's my certified career coach who helped me develop a roadmap. And this has helped with my personal and professional growth. This isn't just the generic stuff, y'all. It's a customized plan tailored to my specific goals. What I love about working with Christina and Strawberry.me is that we don't just talk, baby, we making it happen. She helped me to clarify what I actually want from my career. We've built a strategy to get there and to stay accountable for those goals. In fact, she's the reason why I'm writing my book right now, and it's going to be ready for release most likely in May. One of the most powerful things that Christina has done, she's helped me to see all the ways I'm worthy of running a thriving business and also having a monumental career, even as a wife and mother. For so long, I had this limiting belief that I had to choose, that I couldn't excel professionally while still needing to be there for my family. Christina helped me to break through that false dichotomy, and it's truly been transformative. And let me tell you something, when somebody else knows your goals, you can't just abandon them when Netflix drops a new season of your show. If you're ready to stop waiting for your career to magically improve and to start taking real action, check out strawberry.me and use my code for a $50 credit. The link is in the description. Okay, y'all, now let's get into this 6-month transformative framework that actually works. I'm going to break this down into 5 key areas that, when they're addressed together, create lasting change. In step 1, we're getting into clarity before action, because some of us be trying to step without knowing the direction. The first month is all about getting crystal clear about what you actually want, not what you think you should want. What would anybody else want you to want? Many of us are chasing goals that don't even belong to us. Let that sink in. There are expectations from family, social media, or even society. No wonder we lose motivation. We ain't needed to win it for us. So here's what you need to do. Take a full week to journal about what truly matters to you. Identify what success looks like on your terms and create 2 to 3 specific measurable goals that align with your current values. I remember a period in my life when I was chasing goals that weren't even mine. Everyone around me had things to say like, you should be settling down. Or the funny one, focus on finding a husband before it's too late. it. And I found people talking more about my lack of a relationship as opposed to all the accomplishments and the moves that I've been making. And let's not even talk about my career dreams. I had people telling me that field won't get you far, or this one, that path is not a stable one for any woman. Some people even poke fun at how long it might take me to get established. I heard by the time you make it, you're going to be too old to enjoy it. And for a while, I actually stupidly believed them. And I started pursuing the things that other people thought were appropriate for me. But you know what happened? I was miserable. I know y'all can relate. I was working towards a life that I didn't even want, checking only the boxes that society had created. Can I get an amen? It wasn't until I sat down and really asked myself, what do you actually want? That things started to change. And some of those answers truly surprised me. They weren't what I was supposed to want at all. But look at me now. Step 2 is about environment design. Month 2 is about designing your environment to make success inevitable. Research shows that willpower is highly overrated. What actually determines your behavior is your environment. Okay, what is it looking like in there? So here's some simple changes. Remove friction from good habits, like sleeping in workout clothes if a morning workout is your goal. And add friction to bad habits, like keeping your phone in another room while you're working. This one really works. And then surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. Let me tell y'all about my postpartum weight loss and the extreme lengths I've gone to change and adjust my environment. I've become the food police again in my own home. And as a result, my husband has lost weight too that he didn't even need to lose. But hey, I had to basically put myself in a self-imposed witness protection program from carbs. I text my husband from the other room like, Sean, is the coast clear? Are there any cookies or anything out in the kitchen like that I need to know about? Because sometimes when you see those things, they're triggers and it's over. One time I had a full-blown dream about raiding the pantry for chocolate chips. In that dream, I was hunched over like a raccoon digging through the trash, whispering to myself, the baby won't wake up. No one will know. I woke up so upset that it wasn't even real that I almost went into the kitchen to make that little ugly dream come true. And that's when I realized, if it's not in the house, I can't even dream about eating it in the pantry like a guilty criminal. Now I track every bite I take in every single workout. But you know what? Creating that structured environment has actually given me freedom. When the bad choices aren't even options, I don't waste any mental energy fighting them all day. Case closed. Step 3 is all about skill acquisition. Months 3 and 4 focus on the skills that you need for your transformation. Any meaningful change requires learning. Whether you're pivoting careers, improving your health, or if you're working on a relationship, there are specific skills you need to master. And this is where most people go wrong. They try to change results without changing skills. So identify the 1 to 2 core skills needed for your goals. Find the resources you need to learn the skill. They could be courses, books, or mentors. Practice deliberately for at least 30 minutes daily. And let me tell y'all about one of my biggest setbacks that actually turned into one of my biggest victories. I failed my board exam. I told y'all this before, but y'all, I was devastated. I'm talking about ugly cry in the car, questioning all my life choices. Devastated. But after I dried my tears, I made myself a promise. In the next 2 months, I would sign up again and I would pass that exam. The hard part was looking at myself and looking at why I failed in the first place. I had to get brutally honest with myself about my study habits. This wasn't about studying harder, it was about studying smarter. The exam was more than 4 hours long, so I needed to build speed, accuracy, and confidence. 3 skills that I clearly hadn't mastered the first time around. I created a completely different approach. I timed myself on all my practice questions. I studied closely related to the same environment where I would take the test. I even wore the same type of clothes that I would wear on exam day for me to get completely comfortable. Instead of me making excuses like, I'm just not good at standardized testing, or maybe this isn't for me, I focused on those specific skills that I needed to improve every single day. I practiced those skills like an athlete training for the Olympics. Do you hear me? And 2 months later, I passed that test with over 100 points more than what I did the first time. The difference wasn't intelligence, y'all. It was intentional skill development. And here's the plot twist that still amazes me. I'm one of the writers for that very same test now. Talk about the full circle moment. The exam that made me question all my life choices is now something that I help to write for others. That would have never happened if I didn't develop the skills necessary in order to get past my failure. Step 4 is building those support systems. Month 5 is about creating accountability and support. No significant changes happen in isolation. The most successful people have coaches, mentors, and communities that help to keep them supported even when motivation fades, because it will. So find an accountability partner or a group. Consider, if you can, investing in professional guidance. Create regular check-in structures and celebrate small wins together. And here's the thing, if you cannot find someone or don't have the money to pay, make sure that you look for people that you can offer services to in order to, in return, be mentored by them. You see, my view of community has completely transformed over the years. I used to think, and I still think sometimes, that I have to figure out everything on my own. That asking for help somehow meant that I wasn't capable. Y'all, that was such a limiting belief. You have to create goals that really do surround you. A lot of times we like to think about other people instead of thinking about the changes that we desire. And I tell y'all, my strawberry.me coach Christina has really helped with this. Feeling worthy was a big part of my difficulties. It was like it set me back 20 years. I'm gonna be honest. But now I know in order for everything else to work, I have to be in the right place. Think about the people in your life right now who truly supports you, who challenges you to do better, who celebrates your win. Now those people are gold. They're your transformation accelerators. And if you're missing certain types of support, that isn't failure. It's just an opportunity to actively build those communities. So when people tell me they don't have it, I didn't have it at one point either. I had to find it. And this is coming from a person that has moved multiple states and done multiple things in order to set up my own network. So it can be done. Step 5 is that identity shift. The final month is the most powerful, shifting your identity to align with your new life. Lasting change happens when you start to see yourself differently. When you move from I'm trying to eat better to I'm someone who nourishes my body. Start using affirmations that reinforce your new identity. Notice and reframe those self-limiting beliefs. Practice visualizing yourself as the person you want to become. And also acknowledge how far you've come. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. One of the most powerful shifts in my transformation journey, they happened when I started to use realistic affirmations. And this was during some really tough times in my career. I used to think the affirmation meant that you were saying stuff like, I want to be a millionaire, or I have my dream job. And in fact, a lot of it felt fake to me, and it made me feel worse than reality. But then I discovered the power of realistic, process-centered affirmations. Instead of saying that I have achieved X, I started to say things like, I'm the type of person who shows up consistently, and I make decisions based off my values and not my fears. Those affirmations became my anchor whenever I felt lost or off my path. They reminded me of what I was becoming and not just achieving. A lot of these affirmations actually changed my behavior. When you constantly tell yourself that you're someone who follows through, you start to notice when you're actually not following through. And you learn to make different choices. Your identity shifts and your actions naturally follow. Look, I'm not saying this is easy, y'all, because change is messy. I can tell y'all that firsthand. You'll have setbacks and there will definitely be days that you want to quit. But I'll promise you 6 months from now, you can be living a dramatically different life, especially if you commit to the process. Remember, transformation isn't just about being perfect. It's about consistent progress in the direction of your dreams. Now, if this video resonated with you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And that's so other people can find it and benefit from it too. And don't forget to leave me that comment letting me know what you'll be changing in the next 6 months. I believe in you. Let's do this thing together. All right, y'all. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.